Today we are going to discuss about plant growth and development. It is a part of plant physiology. It is the last topic in the plant physiology. In that growth, we are trying to understand growth in plants and the development process in the plants, then hormones impact on plant growth and development. Already you have studied that human hormone system, chemical coordination, as well as in the plant species also. Various types of hormones have been secreted in the various positions of a plant body for their growth and development. Then some hormones are like axins, gibberellins, cytokinins, abscisic acid, and ethylene. To understand the hormones impact on the plant growth and development, we can try to understand introduction part. Now, there is a growth is defined as, first we can start with the growth definition. Then growth is defined as permanent or irreversible increase in dry weight, size, mass or value of a cell, organ or organ system. In the sense, permanent or irreversible increases in dry weight means the plant weight or wet or dry weight or the size of the plant 2 centimeters to 3 centimeters or mass of the value means total amount of plant body, that is in the part of a cell or a organ or a organism, means like a unicellular plants are there, like a spirulina and so on. They have a single cell that also can be growing, they have a growing capacity. The growth takes place in the following parts, that is the root portion of a plant or stem, leaf, flower, fruit, as well as seeds. In the sense, plant growth takes place in each and every part of a plant body. That is a continuously takes place in each and every part of a plant body. The sequence of the growth should be followed. This question was asked. The sequence of the growth should be followed. Any plant starts the lifetime with a seed. When the seed is placed in the soil, suitable conditions are provided. The seed started to seedling. In the sense, seed germination starts. When the seedling is continuous to grow, then plant will be grown. Plantlet will be formed. That plantlet, which is young one, became mature plant. The mature plant became flowering plant or nothing but tree. At the time of flowering plant or tree, flowers formation, fruits formation, seed formation starts. Then plant development. What is meant by development? Then what is the definition of the development and how many types of plant growths are there? The development in the sense, the sum of the two processes. That is, in process 1 is growth. That process 2 is differentiation. In a plant, growth is necessary and also followed by development. What is the difference between growth and development? Growth in the sense only increases in the size or a weight or a value. But development in the sense, whatever the cell number is increased, that multicellular plant body undergoes some differentiation. What is the differentiation? At the time of seed consists of thousands and lakhs of cells. But at the time of seedling, the seed cells undergoes to mitotic division. That cells undergoes to some differentiation. What type of differentiation? In the seed germination time, at the time of seed germination, some of the cells undergoes to differentiation of the root. Some of the cells undergoes to differentiation of the shoot. Means the seed is undergoes to differentiation of root or as well as shoot. In the shoot, some differentiation is going to take place. What is a leaf formation, fruits formation, branches formation, as well as so on. So here, the development is necessary along with the plant growth. Development in the sense, two processes are involved. One is a growth followed by differentiation. Is defined as a development. Then plant growth is indeterminate. In the sense, plant growth exactly not possible to identify where and when. But generally, plant growth is unique. Plant growth process is not compared with the animal growth. then plant growth is unlimited as well as throughout the life. Take any plant, the plant can grow throughout the life. Take the example of banyan tree. They have been growing years and years until their natural death. Plant growth is takes place. But in animals, not like that. Every animal can grow up to a certain period of time. Take the example of human. Human can grow maximum 14 to 16 years. Then 14 to 16 years, girls' growth takes place. In the boys, 16 and 17 approximate. But in the animals, growth takes place only in that certain period of time. But in the plant body, growth takes place unlimited as well as throughout the life. Because of in the plant body, throughout the life, growth is possible due to presence of meristematic cells. That is an apical meristematic cells of shoot apical meristematic as well as root apical meristematic. Then types of growth, there is a two types of growth seen in the plant body. One is a primary growth, one is a secondary growth. Primary growth is a common process in each and every plant variety. It is a takes place from the seedling to the flowering plants. It is a common process, commonly takes place in each and every plant body. That is a monocot or dicot or gymnosperms, whatever. But come to this one, secondary growth takes place only in dicot plant as well as gymnosperms. Other than these two varieties, secondary growth does not take place. Primary growth takes place at the apical meristematic of shoot and root, but secondary growth takes place in the three portions. One is a lateral meristematic, cork cambium as well as vascular cambium. Primary growth always helps to increase the length of the plant body or the size of the plant body, length of the plant body. But this secondary growth always helps to increase width of the plant body. So along with this one, two types of growths are seen in the plant body. One is the primary growth as well as we can see some typical examples of plant growth. According to number, we can take the example of plant cells, number is increased. Then take the example of maize plant. In the maize plant, root apical meristematic. For every 1 hour of time, 17,500 new cells have been formed. Means for every 1 hour, 17,500 new cells have been formed in the apical meristematic of maize plant in the root portion. This question was asked in the previous NEET exam. Then see the one more. In the watermelon, we are trying to understand that increases size of a cell from time to time. Just now we discussed that number of cells are increased from time to time. Now we are trying to understand size of the cells are increased from time to time. Take the example of in the watermelon that cell size is increased 3,50,000 times greater than its original size. Means in the fruit, in the watermelon fruit portion, that take the example of a original size cell at the time of immature. If the size of the cell is small, an example of 1 millimeter, this cell is increased 3,50,000 times greater than its original size. Means the size of the cell is maximum because of our accumulation of water. That's why watermelon consists of great amount of water compared with other types of fruits. The cell size is increases 3,50,000 greater than its original size. Then we can see the one more example. The cell size along with the size, cell length also increases. Cell length is increases. So cell length is increased in the pollen grain growth. That you know that stigma, style and ovary, there is a stigma where does pollen grains are sticking. Pollen grains are sticking on the surface of stigma. This pollen grain germination starts at the time of fertilization. The pollen germination depends upon cell length increases. As per the cell length increases, pollen grain have been extended towards ovule, towards egg cell for fertilization. And also we take the example of surface area is increases, area of the cell is increases, also promotes plant growth. Then as per the surface area, in the dorsiventral leaf, if the leaf size is then 20 centimeters square, from time to time the size of this leaf is increased as in 40 centimeters square. In the sense surface area have been increases. So we can see that these are the typical examples. In the maize plant, number of cells are increased very rapidly. In the watermelon, size of the cell is increases very rapidly. In the pollen grain germination, length of the cell is increases very rapidly. In the dorsiventral leaf, then surface area have been increases very rapidly. This is a small concept. This is a textbook concept. You can try to understand. There is a phases. There are three phases in root, growth and development. They are followed by phase 1 is meristematic phase, phase 2 is elongation phase, phase 3 is maturation phase. In a root, then we can see the few characteristic features of these phases in the young root growth and development. Their location, meristematic phase located at root apex, means in the meristematic cells and tissues. Elongation phase follows in the below the root apex, means where the cells are going to elongate. The maturation phase is the final stage, final phase. Below this root apex, that elongation phase is going on here. Then protoplasm, type of the protoplasm, rich in meristematic, rich amount and rich elongation. In that elongation tissues, the amount of protoplasm is less amount. Then maturation cells have the very little amount of protoplasm. Nucleus type, in the meristematic cells, where that meristematic phase is located, their meristematic cells are present. Their nucleus is conspicuous, means very clear. Nucleus is conspicuous in the sense very clear, but in the elongation phase, where the elongation of cells going on, called as elongation phase, their nucleus is not so clear. But in the maturation phase, in the maturation cells, that nucleus is pushing at the one corner and a very small in size. Take the example of a cell of mature cell, the nucleus is pushing at the corner. The remaining space is occupied by vacuole. But in elongation phase, the size of the cell is elongation cells. Nucleus is almost all not in the center, little bit of corner, but it is somewhat clear, not clear. But in that meristematic cells, where that meristematic phase is going on, nucleus is at the central portion and very much clear. The last feature is growth type. In the meristematic phase, meristematic cells, there is a rapid cell divisions are there. That is a mitotic cell divisions. In the elongation phase, no mitotic cell divisions, only the size of the cell. If they take the example, this is the size of the cell. The size of the cell is elongated, became large in size. Then overall root growth also takes place. But here the maturation, there is a no elongation, only maturation. Whatever the functions are going on, the functions are take the responsibility in these matured cells. Here the concept is plant growth and development in the young root portion should be followed by the three phases. One is the meristematic, second one elongation, third one is maturation. In the meristematic phase, meristematic cells undergoes to mitotic cell divisions. In the elongation stage, meristematic cells, mitotic cell divisions not there, only length of the cells will be increases. But in the maturation cells, in the maturation phase, cells are not at all growing, not at all elongates, no mitotic cell division, there is no elongation takes place, only the functions are going to take the responsibility. So this is small concept. Dear students, now we can try to understand that growth rate per a unit time, means whatever the plant body has grown per a period of time, called as a growth rate. Growth rate is defined as increased growth per a unit time is called as a growth rate. Growth rate can be expressed by mathematical principle. They can be expressed by two types of mathematical principles. One is an arithmetic growth, the second one is a geometric growth. Arithmetic growth, first we can try to understand arithmetic growth. This growth is commonly seen in root growth, growing process. But geometric growth is commonly seen in stem and the remaining parts, especially at the seedling to the planted formation. Seed germination is the best example for geometric growth, but arithmetic growth is a best example, root growth is the best example for arithmetic growth. What does that mean? Very simple logic here. Now we can see generally root or whatever the plant body portion has a capacity of mitotic cell divisions. By the result of mitotic cell division, one cell is divided into two daughter cells. Means each time one parental cell can divide by mitotically, results the formation of two daughter cells. In this process, there is a one parental cell divides by mitotic, then results two daughter cells are formed. Daughter cell 1 as well as daughter cell 2. By that, one mitotic cell division. Parental one cell divides into two daughter cells. Now, out of these two daughter cells, one cell continues only for elongation. One cell always continues elongation, in the sense increases in the size. It does not undergoes to mitotic cell division. But the cell which is another one undergoes to mitotic cell division. By the result of mitotic cell division, two daughter cells are formed. After this mitotic 2, then here the cell which is elongates undergoes to elongation process as usual. But out of these two daughter cells, one cell undergoes to only elongation process, but cell is which is another one undergoes to mitotic cell division. Mean always only one cell undergoes to mitotic, second cell undergoes to elongation. Here you see that first one parental cell divides into two daughter cells. Out of these two daughter cells, daughter cell 1, daughter cell 2, out of these two daughter cells, one daughter cell became parental, it is only elongation process. Only elongation, but second one is undergoes to mitotic. Here is a mitotic. Then here this cell is undergoes to elongation as usual, but out of these two cells, one cell undergoes to elongation, means increase the size, but second cell is undergoes to mitotic. Mean here one cell divides into two cells divides into three cells form as in four cells. In the sense of each time only one cell have been increases. Second one is always elongates and results formation of maturity. This we can have a small principle, that is a formula of for this arithmetic growth is LT is equal to L0 plus RT. Does that mean L is nothing but length of a plant? Then here LT is nothing but length of a plant at time T, means after some period of time. L0 nothing but length at the time of 0, means at a starting point. R is equal to growth rate as well as T is equal to time period. By following this principle, we can understand, we can do the problems that growth rate of a plant, especially in the root portion, by arithmetical process. Dear students, we can see a small graph format of information. In this graph, there is a two axes as taken. One is the time on x-axis, one more is the height of the plant or number of cells increased on the y-axis. From the 0 period of time, the number of cells are 1. When the time period is expanding from 0 to 10 seconds, the number of cells are became 1 to 2 cells. When the time is expanding, then 2 cells are became 3 cells. When the time is expanding for every 10 seconds of time, the cells are being increases. In the sense, the graph is always represents linear. The linear graph is represents. Then one cell became 2 cells, 2 cells are became 3 cells, 3 are became 4 cells, 4 are became 5 cells because of In each division, one cell undergoes to mitotic, then results two daughter cells are formed. Out of these two daughter cells, one is going to act as a elongation and become the maturation. The second cell undergoes to mitotic. 2. Again, the two cells are formed. As per this arithmetical growth rate, the graph represents always linear. On one axis, x-axis time has been taken. On the y-axis, the number of cells have been taken. The plant growth means height of the plant represents 1000, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. In this arithmetical growth rate, we try to understand the process of arithmetical growth, then formula of arithmetical growth, and graph of arithmetical growth. Arithmetical growth rate of graph is always linear. It's an important concept. The next hour we are going to understand that geometrical growth rate and factors affect on the growth of a plant body.